right, man. Yes, 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 yes. All right, man. What's going on? Let's bring up Instagram. They've been fucking with me about the music, about talking, man. Appreciate you guys. You got confused. Well, let's see. It's Monday. I figured most of you guys were off yesterday, relaxing, feet kicked up, taking a well-deserved break for all your hard work, celebrating sacrifices. Trading's a sacrifice. Obviously a different kind of sacrifice, but Memorial's Day is for remembrance of sacrifice, right? I feel like I need to do a sound check. Hold on. Trying to roll mobile, and it's always a pain in the ass. So give me just a second. Come on in, Instagram. We're talking about the money flow and the 4 stages of price movement. That's what Sundays are about. Okay. Looks like we're tracking. I'm going to turn this one on. I'm going to turn the volume down so I can see questions. We shouldn't have any questions in the beginning. Come together on Sunday, man. I have for almost 2 years. Don't ask questions. Just shh. Instagram. Just be quiet. We're going to just completely disable your commenting. Stop with your fingers. Nobody cares what you are going to say right now. It's not that important. Don't say hi to me. Just come in, have a seat, sit down. If you have a copy of the Money Flow, good time to bring it, man. Who goes to church without a Bible, man? What's wrong with you? You got to at least look like you're supposed to be there. Now, one thing you're going to discover as, quote, a technical analysis is, I got to remind myself sometimes I got a camera on me now, trying to be cool on Instagram with a camera. I may stop doing that. I don't know. I do like seeing the room I'm in. It's kind of cool. Happy Memorial Day, Joe. Thank you for all you've done. Very, very welcome. One thing that'll help you with the money flow is, one, you got to know the pattern comes and goes, man. It emerges sometimes so picture perfect, so perfect that we as technical analysts, that's what this is, right? You want to become a technical analyst. That's what charts are about, man. Charts are a living example. They're recorded history for all time. You'll never be able to change it. No matter what happens tomorrow or on Monday, it can't affect what happened on Friday. This has been forever recorded, man. It's deep shit, man, when you start to think about what is actually happening on a chart. And maybe on Memorial Day, we come to realize that maybe we took it for granted a little bit. Let's not take charts for granted. Some people don't look at them. Some people let a day go by. Committed the horrible sin of not looking at their charts. It's terrible. Once you learn what I show you, that won't be you. Other people are walking around in confusion. They don't know what's going on. They don't know about the money flow all around them. It ain't their fault, man. Most of the people that I bump to on the street, they're not going to know anything about this. This wonderful thing where price moves in these weird patterns, man. And as it moves, look at that. You ever seen that? That's this right here. So when I got lured, drawed in, scammed, they scammed me, man. One day I'm minding my business. Next day they're talking to me about this shit. They scammed me. They brought me into the stock market thing. One time this guy set me down, man, ran this big scam on me. He said, how much money you got? And I said, I got $15,000. He goes, let me show you how to make that $1 million. I had 2 incidents in my life. One was that, and he did, and he honored it and showed me how. And the other one is I was sitting at a blackjack table. years ago, and I bought all these courses and all these books and all this stuff on stock trading. And I'd been trading, trying different things, day trading, putting this shit down on a 1 minute chart. I mean, I did everything. And as I'm sitting there playing cards, I've started. You ever if you played much cards, you know what I mean. Sometimes they just go your way. Sometimes the deck just feels loaded, and you win and you win and you win, and sometimes you can't catch a fucking card. I'm sorry, I cursed in church, but sometimes you can't catch a beat, man. Right? And as you begin to notice, I'm like, man, this thing like flows. They change the dealer and the flow changes. That's what I was sitting there thinking. And as I'm thinking that, all these books that I had read, all these courses I had taken, and recently, at the time, I had been on a kick on this guy, Stan Weinstein. Now, you got to remember, this is 15 years ago, man, when all this starts coming together. And as I'm listening to him, man, and I'm playing this game, I start to realize, whoa, the flow, man, it's the flow. And as I'm playing cards and I get a 15, and I know the deal on a 15 at a blackjack table is you know what to do, right? If the dealer has a 15, dealer's got a bust card, and there's a certain way you approach the game. And as I'm sitting there thinking on that, and I'm thinking, why does the flow seem to change when they change? Now, this has nothing to do with stocks. This is just my brain flowing, you know. I began to see the pattern of price movement clear as day. Now, Stan Weinstein, he taught this on a weekly chart. So I made fun of a guy yesterday about weekly. I was just using you as a guinea. You were just the punching bag, man. You were the lesson. I don't even know who said it. Might have been my mom. I don't know. Whoever said it, I just took it and ran with it. Smashed on you a little bit. But I was just trying to make a point, man. And so as we began to watch this movement of price, man, you have to interrupt people's lives, man. They don't see this. The average person walking down the street right now does not know that Bitcoin is breaking out above the 20-day moving average right now as we speak. So you see this pattern right here, right? This is NE. Remember last week we were talking about this, NEE? We're talking about the utility stacks. Go back and look. I got some videos on YouTube there. And we're witnessing the birth of what we call a stage one, that price had put in an anchor point. And what I got the anchor points from a guy named Wiles Wilder. Wiles Wilder is the creator of TSI, the creator of RSI. He talked about anchor points, and I'm sure other people did too, but this is who I got it from. It's these extreme points of price. Now, inside of an end anchor point, and I don't talk a lot about this. This is like Money Flow 3.0. From endpoint to endpoint and endpoint to endpoint, just pretend like you know what I'm saying. These are anchor points. In the middle, we have what's called pivot points, and we're not going to get into that today. I just want you to know about them. Now, pivot points are inside of an anchor point. Man, I done made this so messy. Man, I wish you understood. I wish you knew what I was saying, and you weren't one of the people just walking down the street who don't know. It's sad, man. I'm surrounded by them. As I begin to establish these anchor points, and we always start with the ones in the past. Why? Because they're easy to spot. So what we're trying to do going forward into the future, it's actually this one over here. What we're trying to do as we go forward in the future is keep building these out. We want to stay in the flow of price. And we know whatever it's currently doing, it should keep doing it until it hits the spot where it stopped before. And what we call that is zones of what? Resistance. So on the way up, price hits resistance, and on the way down, price hits what? Support. And these levels get drawn out, and we'll talk about that. Now, when you come to the money flow, it kind of assumes that you understand some things. Meaning, I didn't arrive at the money flow straight off the street. I didn't go, oh, I don't know anything about stocks. Oh, what? Now I know about the money flow. That's not how it worked. Meaning I went through, like everyone else, looking at stupid line charts, thinking that Motley Fool knows something, going to a fucking place like Reddit, looking at a newsletter, thinking that outside of myself there were some answers. And they had some things, and they gave me tidbits and trinkets and here's a little snack. You want a drink? And as I began to put it together, man, and I began to realize, wow, everyone goes into these little funnels, man, these little tunnels, and they begin to see things very, 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 very narrow. And that some people have a natural bent, meaning they come to the market with a predetermined idea. They bring politics, they bring their love life, they bring their relationship with their girlfriend or their wife or how they feel today. Some people think, man, if I don't feel like it, I don't necessarily look at it. You imagine that? You imagine being a person that could decide not to look? And I knew that those aren't normal people. They're not like me. They're not obsessed. And I realized that what you think about comes about, like the shit you focus on a daily. So you're like, well, I wasn't really focused on my stocks. Well, that's why they're not growing, man, because you're not giving it the attention that it should have. So as I'm taking in all of this stuff, mindset, getting your shit right at home, getting the buckets right, I'm watching stocks. And I began to watch the pattern of stocks that I knew. This here is NE. This is a utility company out of Florida. I own a condo in Florida, by the way, in the same area these guys service electricity. Oh, we just went deep. The picture in front of you is in my life, in a different state. We just went down the money flow, man. Did you see the connection? Oh, let me grab a cigarette. Oh, hey, man, can you hand me a Coors? And you say, Coors is here? Coors is here, man. You're like, what do you mean? TAP. Yeah, man, we were having some beers. I know. They recorded the price. So while your friends drink beer, that beer price gets recorded here. And a lot of people say, I don't do stocks. Yeah, you do. What do you mean? You're on one side of the cash register or the other. Everyone's in the stock market, guys. You're just on the losing side or the winning side. Because if you just buy shit and you're a consumer, we appreciate you. Without those people, this game doesn't play, man. Without people paying an electric bill, we just took the money flow to a whole nother level there. Did you catch that? Or did it go over your head? You guys think it's about chart pattern? Man, it's deeper than that, man. Money flows all around you, man. Secret to wealth, stocks to buy, what to invest in. You could be rich as fuck if you could listen to yourself. If you could open your own eyes of the shit all around you. Think about how many times you've bought on Amazon. Go back and look, and chart's up $300 a share. 30,000 becomes 300,000, and 300,000 changes your life, but you don't believe in you, so you don't see it. You don't look around because you're busy. And the guy sits on a fucking deer right in front of me. I had a guy say, well, are you making fun of? I'm not making fun of, man. I'm exposing. Fuck out of here. I'm not making fun of. He's participating. And a guy tell me that. He's like, oh, Gerald, you're making fun of an immigrant because he's painting with Sherman Williams. I'm like, no, man. The fact that he is who he is, it doesn't give him an out. He's in the money flow, man. He's in the stock market game. He's a consumer, man. Fuck are you talking about? Look at this. You don't see this pattern? You don't see this movement of price? You don't want to, I shouldn't share it with him? Like, he doesn't know, man. He's over there painting. So there's a guy every day using Sherman Williams. He's buying it. He's in the money flow. He's part of sales, part of the PE process, right? Look at these anchor points. Anchor points are the lowest low and the highest high before the point changes. Often these anchor points come at times of extreme readings on the indicators. The indicator above me here is the RSI. RSI measures relative strength. It's called the relative strength index. It measures velocity of price, not distance. Velocity, okay? Meaning it went too far too fast. Look right here. So in a runaway trend or a trend to the upside that doesn't seem to stop, this will trigger and then it'll work off and then it'll keep going. And we as technical and as readers of the money flow, of viewers of the pattern, as technical analysis, we need to be able to look and see, is this an ongoing runaway trend? Should we expect it to keep going higher? Should we expect the stage 3, this here? So when price runs up, man, when you're watching and you see price come down, always start on this side of the money flow, man. You always start on the right side. And you say, what do you mean? Start the game on this side. And you go, how do you do that? By looking backwards, man. So when you come to a chart to see forward, you got to look backwards. Now, the government will tell you that future prices are not, or historical prices are not indicative of future events. All right, but that's all you have to go on is the past, man. So as you look at this pattern that's forming. This one got out of the money flow. This is a good chart to show you when the stock is out of the money flow too. And you say, what do you mean? Meaning you got to be able to spot this. When the stock is out of the money flow. It's not flowing, man. Sorry. Hold on. I'm on a mobile. Sorry, Instagram. The stock is not flowing, man. It's not flowing. You say, what do you mean by flowing? Flowing. The money flow is a pattern, man. It's not always flowing. Meaning it can get out of whack. It can get caught in a stage 1, which is accumulation, price going sideways, or a stage 3, which is distribution, price going sideways. So it can have a perfect money flow, meaning it goes sideways, runs up, goes stage 3, comes down, goes sideways, and then it starts to get hanky. And what happens? Stock's out of flow, man. There's just not enough buying and selling. It's the pattern. It becomes almost, well, for one, the pattern is fractal, right? You say, what do you mean? Meaning this time frame, I use the daily. Sometimes people will say to me, they'll buy the book before even spending a little time with it. They're already filtering it. Oh, Gerald, can we change this? And I'm like, man, just do what I showed you, man. Remove all preconceived ideas. Just suspend for a second. Just fucking sit with it, man. Just sit with it and watch it. You don't even have to execute on it. Don't put money on it. Just be in it before you change it, before you add things to it. Just be in what I'm showing you, man. And just watch the flow of it. Man. Look what happens when you drop to a 1-hour chart. When a stock stops flowing, you say, why? It's the fractal nature of price, man. When there's momentum, you'll see the movements on a daily chart. They'll move. Look at NE. See these big sweeping movements? Price goes down, puts an anchor point, comes back up, gets in the box, goes sideways, starts going up. And this is what you're looking for, these big sweeping moves, man. This is money flowing. Well, there's our anchor. We're buying right around in there, so we'll start our box in there. And as we move forward, we got to look at the past. The past helps us draw forward, man. So we can start finding our spots. Now, what do we know when it hits 70 up here? It's probably going to what? Stop going up, man. Might go up a minute more. And what? We're going to come into the 200 anyway, which is a whole nother class. But price tends to stop here, right? We know that. And you go, what do you mean? Meaning price tends to stop here, man. When it's going down, it tends to bounce off of it when it's going down. And when it's going up, it tends to get stuck on it too, man. For whatever reason. So because of that web-like nature, meaning prices pull back, you're going to see that concept throughout price. And in the money flow, we call it price has memory. And you're like, what do you mean? I don't understand what you're saying. Meaning wherever price has been before, it can easily go again. It just pushes there. It's drawn to it like a magnet. And what you're going to see, and the reason that price can even money flow, you understand why it can stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. What is it doing? It's doing like a fucking dance, like the waltz, man. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. It's just moving through this. And guess what? Every once in a while, improv. 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. It's improving, man. But price is in a stage 1, 2, 3, or 4. And when it's money flowing, it's just going 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And it's just marching through. And you're like, come on, man. No, that's what this is. 1, right? 2 goes up. 3, right? Up and right around in here. And then what? 4. And then what are we looking for? When we get the 4, And as you learn the stages and as you go into money flow, you're always determining every moment, every day, what stage are we in? So I can look at this chart. What stage are we in? 2. Takes seconds. 2. So how much time is involved in this? None. And you're like, Gerald, but shouldn't you run some fancy algorithm? No. Here was your breakout day a week ago. Nothing to do. This took 5 seconds of analysis this week. Is it above the 20? Yeah. 5, 10. They're all pointing up. These lines right here. 5-day, 10-day, 20. They're all pointing up. Yeah. Where's price? Above them. All right. What do we do? Nothing. Is RSI on extreme? No. All right. Stage 2, right? This. We're done. Move. Next chart. See how fast we go through that? You don't need a lot of filtering going on. If you're following something, you know, you could do that 10, 20 times a day right there, man. You start following 20, 30 things every fucking day. Did I curse? I cursed in church. I apologize. If you follow those same 20 every day, your life changes, man. I didn't say you were making money on them. I didn't say the reason you're following is to make money on it. I said that if you follow it every day, then guess what happens? Guess what happens if you follow it every day? Every stage 2, it looks the same to you. Those are stage 2 breakouts, right? So if you've learned the money flow, what I learned that day sitting on that blackjack table after consuming books and courses and books and courses and books and courses and books and courses, and realizing Stan Weinstein was onto something. Stan said price moved in 4 stages. He was looking at a weekly chart. And it dawned on me, that shit is fractal. And he said, what do you mean? Meaning, I've seen that pattern on a daily chart. And while other people had talked about it, they hadn't talked about it to me in a way that it clicked. I mean, I'm sure there were plenty of people. And early on, they taught that stocks did 3 things: sideways, up, sideways. So this is not proprietary. I don't own the 4 stages. Nobody else does. This was being used long before there were influencers, people doing anything on the internet, or before television. This goes way back, right? That prices move in stages, or people trying to find patterns. Guys like Elliott came out and created the Elliott waves. There was Bollinger. He created Bollinger Bands. There's Gerald Appel. He created the MACD, moving average convergence divergence, and hundreds and legions of people of looking for patterns and movements of price and ways of. Let's just turn off commenting. They're just we can't even have comments on Instagram. It's just too stupid to. That's why I do the. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I got rid of that guy too. What is going on, man? As we look at the price pattern, what I saw that Stan was seeing on a weekly, I was started to see on a daily, and then I began to see it on the 1 hour, and I began to look for the pattern to show up. And to assist me in that pattern I wanted to try to find these anchor points. And I don't want to, and as I began to use the anchor points, I began to add other, like RSI, stochastics to help me with and what I'm looking for on indicators is extreme points. I'm not so worried about what's going on in the middle. And you're like, what do you mean? So as I'm looking at the RSI up here, and if you got my book, you can go read on it. There's plenty of places. Put it in fucking Google and just type it in and read on it. There's different ways of using this indicator, okay? And at some point, you'll disagree with me. You'll be like, nah, I don't agree with it. And it's fine. Go use it the way you're using it. All I'm looking for is extreme points to the top or to the bottom, because those extreme points are helping me pinpoint pivot points and stage changes. In other words, I can create my 3. You say, why is it a 3? Because this was 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Duh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And we can see that right here. There's a 1. 1 is on this side of the green line, right? Over there. on this side of the green line is the one, and price begins to move sideways, right? And it moves sideways after it puts in a lowest low, which almost always accompanies an extreme reading here. So as I get this extreme reading on my RSI, it's telling me, hey man, you need to look for an anchor point. Anchor points tend to be points that have pulled way away from this 20. And if you just watch this, this is going to help you get a visual picture of this price movement that we're talking about. I just want you to see these moments, man. Just these are just the big ones. But as you look, right, these were the lowest lows. And if we let's lay, just like we're drawing a line like kids with crayons, right? What you're going to notice when you get up here looking at the RSI, what do you notice? It's banging these extremes. You say, but there was one here. I know. And that actually did put in a top, but it wasn't the anchor point. That became a pivot point because it got broken, right? So pivot points are anchor points inside the anchor points. Does that make sense? And the reason this is called the anchor point is this the pivot point, like you dropped the anchor and then the fucking boat turned. It stopped, right? That's all that means. Anchor stops. Anchor stops. It's not predictive. It's not me saying this is the bottom. People think, oh, you said that was the bottom. No, I said it was an anchor point. I don't know the direction, dude. I don't know where the stock market's going. If I knew that, I'd be a fucking billionaire, not talking to people on here. Be on a private island somewhere. If you knew at all what the stock market was going to do, you would be super rich. So don't be that impressed by people who think they know, because they're just guessing. You can only do one of two things. Dude, it's either going to go up or down. It's not a big fucking... You just pick a side and pick your reason why, man. You can make an argument any day of the week why the economy's fragile. Why? Because it is fragile. The world is fucking dangerous and fragile. Welcome to it. What are you? You're a Pegasus? You don't think you're going to run into bad? Everything is bad, man. Economy always looks shitty. There's always something wrong, right? So we know that, man. We got to operate in that. What the money flow allows us to do is just deal with what price is doing and ultimately to believe that this thing here, its nature is it wants to go higher. And in order for it to go higher, it first goes lower. And that creates the pattern of price movement. So just to get here, it had to go here, right? And to get back up here again, it's going to go down here. And you're going to see it move through these patterns. And it'll be based on true value, man. The Mona Lisa is going to sell for whoever's offering the highest price. And price moves. From time to time, people reset assets. Maybe there's a reason for the reevaluation. And this price comes down. Now look at it. The other day it was at 67. A few days later it was at 77. You don't know who the CEO is. You don't know their sale. Nobody knows anything. Very few people know that stuff, man. You think there's some real fundamental fucking reason. You think there was someone who sat around and they were watching the Federal Reserve and they were like, by God, George, what he just said is incredibly enlightening. Let's put a lot of money to work in utility. You think there's any logic to this stuff? It's total chaos. This company was trading for 67 on this day, May, 12th? And today it's 77. This is all based on logic. Well, you come over here not too long ago in March, it was the same price that it was over here in May. So for all this up and down, based on tweets and Twitter and whatever, look at this round robin it did. So it goes from March, the guy buys it here, runs way up, comes all the way back to that price in May. Now, what would a guy there say? He'd be like, man, this stock trading thing is not really what it's made out to be, Gerald. I've been in 2 months and it's the same price. It went up and it came down. I know. That's what it does. It goes up and then sideways and then it comes down. And it's going to do this for the rest of your life. This is why it works, man. That flow, that price, that volatility. If it didn't come down, if Disney never came down, how do we ever get to buy more Disney? So as we mature, we begin to see volatility for what it is, the money maker. It's only fearful of the new guy. He got in, got his money in. It's a lot of money to him. So the up and down, the volatility of it feels like a threat instead of an opportunity because they ain't been in that long, man. Takes a while to understand that if you want to accumulate a lot of fucking Tesla, you need it to come down sometimes. If you got a 5-7 year goal, oh, did he say 5-7 years? Yeah, man. Think about that. If you had that plan with this stock, think how much well, I'm getting sidetracked. So as this thing money flows, if we're trading, we need targets. And what the money flow says is it's going to do this pattern. Once we know how to identify stage one, and we understand price in relation to the 5-day moving average, the trigger, right? We understand our anchor points. Once we understand our anchor points, we can start to figure out what? The entry point. Once we have an anchor point, we need 1, 2, 3, 4 days to hold. Right around in here. Now, something you're going to see, it's a phenomenon, whatever you want to call it, if you watch the markets, you won't see me make a lot of moves at 9 o'clock. Rarely do I do that shit. I wait. I'm in no rush. I'm looking at these trades are months long. So what it does on Tuesday, I really don't care. I'm not giddy at the open and running over to my computer and clicking refresh. I just don't do that. Most of the time I'm not looking at the prices. I'm looking at the charts. So I don't know what my balance is. A lot of you guys look first at your balance. That tells me you don't know charts. You're out of whack, man. So when you run and you check your balance and you're not checking the charts, you're out of fucking whack. You're looking at it wrong. It's not about your balance. Yeah, over time your balance is going to grow as an investor. But what you need to keep your eye on and what's going to make your money is watching the patterns of price, not whether your account's green or red, man. That's not what's going to do it. It's spending time with this stocks like this, and you see them come underneath this 200. It's not your balance that you need to look at. It's like, do I need to be allocating more resources to this or not? And when it runs up and it bangs in the 70 RSI, are there better resources for this money? If you had bought some down here, you'd been buying it for a long time. Now it has this big move up and you're up. You're in the green. You're up a lot of money. Maybe you're like, cool, I'm going to harvest some of this to go do what? Put it into something that maybe is down here. And so rather than spending a lot of time on your balance, or if it's an up day or green day, you spend more time on that. And that may not even mean logging into your account, man. You know what I'm saying? So don't miss what I'm saying there, but that's more important, man. That right there. You know, more. Boy, that's a beautiful chart, huh? That is a beautiful chart. And you say, well, my chart doesn't look like that. It's all fucked up. Well, it's not money flowing, man. That happens. And you get massive trends to one side or the other. It just keeps going down, keeps doing stage ones. And it can keep doing that till you break. They can do the same to the upside. Right? We've had that with oil. This constant drip higher, man. It's like not even money flowing anymore. And you're like, what do you mean? Every sell-off, look at this. Look at these anchor points, man. I mean, the slightest little sell-off, and it goes right back up, man. So when you get into this kind of zone like this, what do you have? I mean, this is just there's no clear. It's just up, man. You know? And then it actually started to break away here. And what's happening? We're back to 70 RSI again. Right? So if we know the nature that this can happen, we need a way where if we're taking some, we're taking some. You need a way to keep yourself in winners. You need a way to keep yourself in winners and not close. And I see this a lot. People will close these. They get completely out of this stock. in here to push it all to something else. That thing else they go buy goes down or never gets going, goes down for another leg. Like maybe you sold all your oil stocks, you start buying growth stocks, and then they take another leg down, right? And then they go stage one. And as that's happening, oil stocks just keep drifting higher, man, and higher and higher and higher. And where we took profits at 87, it's now 97. You know, so on 100 shares, that's a chunk of money, man. It's another $1,000 some dollars. Guys got 250, 300 shares, $3,000, $4,000. But if we don't have a way to stay in that, we're not going to melt up with it, right? So in our strategy, as we come to the stock market, as we're looking, this is some of our bigger picture stuff, is this, you know, do we have core holdings of things drifting like this? This is why we want to be diversified, right? I mean, we all know that. That's in every book in the world. Like, virtually every book will tell you need to be diversified, whether it's in means not everything's in crypto, not everything's in NFTs, not everything's in land, not everything's in even real estate. I mean, all mine's not in real estate, right? Not everything's in one thing, man. I can't position myself to blow out where I'm out, done, knocked out, no more, don't get up, don't play again. Can't do that, man. Whether it be in stocks, trading, in business, I can't have one customer. I need a lot of customers. I can't have one stock. I need a lot of stocks. I can't have one sector. I need a lot of sectors. And I can't have one coin. I need a lot of coins. Like I need options because I don't know what's going to break out. I don't know what's going to run. I don't know what's going to do the best, man. If you look at the dogs of the Dow, it's one reason I love it, man. It has Exxon in it. It also has 3M in it, right? Look at this big ass sell-off. So as you're watching this, the value of the green line to us, there's our crossover, right? So when you're first getting going, that's going to mean a lot to you. 5-day crosses the 20-day. New guys watching that. So yeah, it's part of it, man. But it's also, that's happening right now inside of this little stage that was building there. So now it breaks. It's definitely your stage 4 decline day. So as you're looking at the money flow, this is what you're seeing unfold. It started to go up, didn't go that high. So it didn't run up and hit an extreme point. Started to go sideways, built to stage 3, and then it broke. And so you saw this tiny little money flow action start to happen up here. See it? Now we come down. One of the golden rules on this, and you know this, if you've listened to me a minute, until these things come together, you're not going to get much happening. And look what's happening here. And you're like, what do you mean? Notice that dotted red line there, that dotted, what I call a minor moving average, 5-day exponential, the average price of the last 5 days. And the blue one is the average price of 10 days. And the green one is a simple average of 20 days, which is 1 month in the stock market. It's 5 days a week. So that dotted red line is the average price of the last 5 days. So if price is below that, super bearish. And if they're numerically aligned, 5, 10, 20, very bearish. The momentum is to the downside. Until this reconfigures, it can't go up. Mathematically. Just pure, if you were a computer and you're calculating shit, and that's how indicators are there's a mathematical formula for this. Well, guess what? There is for this too. So I could remove this from my chart and I could say, okay, Mr. Coder, when this and this are numerically aligned the other way, 5 and then the 10, and yet they're below the 20, give me a blue light. On my screen, pop up a blue light. So I don't have all these fucking lines. I just have a blue light. And I go, oh shit, we got a blue light alert. And you're like, what's a blue light alert? Man, that's when the 5-day crosses the 10-day, and yet it's below the 20. It's a rare phenomena called what? Stage 1 confirmation, man. Or a buy signal inside of the stage 1. And you could have a computer alert you with a little blue code. Boop. Boop. That's letting you know. Now, what happens when the 20 rockets above the 20? This is you as a human being. So as you're watching price, that's right there. We say best time for buying. If you're a momentum trader, this is the momentum. It's breaking out. Price is now rocketed above the 20-day with momentum, right? What do we see on Bitcoin right now? Come on, man. Stay with me. What do you see happening? Price is moving above it, right? Now, this is what happens. Guy goes, yeah, man. I don't know. You're like, no, that's what it's doing. It's breaking out above it. How far will it go? What does the money flow say? Money flow ain't got nothing to do with last year. It's this year. So we're seeing this, right? We're watching that, right? This. The guy would say to me, how high you think Bitcoin's going? I'm like, man, you don't need to worry about that. You need to learn this. Why are you asking the wrong questions? Most people ask me the wrong question. They're always asking the wrong question. They're asking some shit they've been thinking on. It's probably the wrong question. That's not the right question. The right question is, hey man, how do I know when it's time to buy Bitcoin? How do I know when it's time to buy Hanes brands? How do I know when it's time to buy 3M? How do I know, right? That's the question, not where the price is going. It's when to buy it, man. So, same on a rental property. I don't care about the price of the property. Over time, that's going to go up. You know what I mean? The price goes up, man. Over time, price goes up. So if we look at McDonald's, I don't know. You tell me, has that been the case my adult life? I can go through 1,000 fucking stocks if you want. We can just stock after stock. Name one. You know, you say, well, they don't all go up. I know. That's why you do diversification. Duh. That's the whole point of that lesson. So as we begin to bring all these lessons together, we go, sometimes we're wrong. Yeah. Sometimes we're wrong. Sometimes strategies break down. Sometimes there's issues, right? And we can know that. And you say, but what about like Coke? I don't know. Let's put that on there. That's a daily. Let's put it on a monthly. You're saying Coca-Cola goes up? Yeah. You remember that secret stock you didn't know about Warren Buffett had? Look, it was all the way over here at $12. Well, it's not really $12, guys. They're doing splits and this and that, numbers adjusting. But what you see happening, over time, is the price goes higher, man. Now, also, while that stock is going up, we didn't even mention it's giving you money. So you're getting your money back. So the return is different, man. You didn't pay $64. What if you bought it back here 22 years ago and you paid $20 and now you've been getting paid for 15 years? How much did you pay? I don't know. Depends on how you want to calculate it. How much money you got in the deal? You say, well, I got all my money in the deal, but the thing's gone up 300%. I mean, we're now on infinite returns, right? The average guy doesn't understand that, man. He can't see that, man. The average guy can't see this, man. They don't see closed-end funds that handle money, man. Most people's brains can't get around that you can get tens of thousands of dollars just given to you every month, just like here. They'll give you a fucking billion. You want $1 billion? Go buy $1 billion worth of dividends. They'll just give it to you. There's nothing keeping you out but money. They don't go, hey, no, that's a black girl. Don't give her those dividends. Nobody does that. Oh, don't do that. He's a Mexican dude. Don't give him the dividends. Nobody does that. Nobody goes, don't pay the landlord. He's Hispanic. Nope. That doesn't happen. Right? Nobody does that, man. Not in this world. So that means you can get in. It means I can get in. It means I don't even have to be a stockbroker. I can get $1 million in the stock market and I'm not a stockbroker. And there's stockbrokers that don't have $1 million. So I can have $3 million in real estate. I don't have a real estate license. And there's real estate agents that don't have $3 million in real estate. It's rigged, man. It's a rigged system. Can't keep me out, man. Isn't that cool? Let's look at Google. Google's fixing to split. This is what I was saying. Now, for a lot of this to make sense, some of you didn't even understand what I just said. You're like, oh my God, did he just take my ism from me? He just took it from me, man. That's not cool. Don't let anything keep you out, man. Anybody can play this game, man. Even ugly people. Like anybody can play this game. You can be a little person. You can be a dwarf, and you can get a trading account. You'd be like, hey, I'm a midget. Can I play? They'll be like, you got money? They let you in, man. Nobody stops you. Go open a Robinhood account. You're in. Welcome to the club. Like anybody, man. There's no stopping you. That's beautiful, right? Now imagine what someone like you can do. So, all of that to say, once you start tuning in to this, for you, for the money flow. Now, we had a stage 1 here, and it broke down. So I don't want to give you the impression this is infallible. It's not at all. It's just repeatable. Say it again. It's not infallible, but it is repeatable. Meaning when it works, it can work again and again and again and again. You know, like you'll know what a breakout looks like. Like you'll see it. Boom, price turns, moves higher. You know what that is, man. You're in tune. That's a breakout. Breakout's underway. See it? Some people didn't even notice it in Bitcoin. Oh, I didn't notice it, Gerald. Bitcoin has me feeling bad. I'm down on my crypto, so I didn't even look. All right, well, Bitcoin's here. You took a day off. It didn't. Even within all the bad news, Bitcoin got up today. You're like, what do you mean? Some of you are like, oh, I can't even look, man. It hurts my feelings. Okay, well, good thing Bitcoin isn't you because we're playing. Bitcoin's breaking out right now. See, this is going to show up even when you don't. Like if you like, oh, I can't look. It'll be here. It'll be doing its thing. So this is going to go higher. It's way higher now. And you're like, what do you mean? Meaning its whole life, it's been money flowing. Price is higher. Back it up. Let's go to a monthly. Is the price of Bitcoin? I mean, Gerald, but it's been catastrophic losses. Didn't you see the total collapse of the crypto market? Do you think it's over? Yeah, bro, it's over. I mean, how's it ever going to recover? I mean, if you get on this, I mean, look how devastating it is to the people who've been doing it for about 10 years. Terrible. Terrible carnage has happened to those people. Not. Right? Just the people that got on recently. So if you got in up in here, terrible carnage, Gerald. Down 30, 40%. Yeah, no shit. Like, I don't know if you know this. That's been happening since the beginning and the birth of the markets. There was a tech crash in 2015. There was an oil crash in 2015. 2012, there was one. During that, like that, I mean, we can just keep going back, man. There's crashes, 10% pullbacks, this thing, Fed, oh, they're going to raise rates, all the dividend stocks get smashed. This game was playing long before you got here. Bitcoin was running up and pulling back 40% long before you got here. Long before you were here, Bitcoin was doing the run-up crash game long before you got here. Look at this run-up here. This one was crazy. Now, these guys, now imagine this. You caught this big run. You're all super smart. Big run up. Everybody else gets fucking greedy. That's the people buying when the RSI is extreme. It's greedy, man. You know, you got to be a genius to see colors. So if you see a color green and you're the buyer, you're the dummy at the table. If you see red, then you're the buying fear, right? You want to buy fear and you want to what? Sell. You want to buy weakness, right? And you want to sell into this. So you want to sell into other people being greedy, man. So as you can come back, you can back up and look at Bitcoin. Look, is it low right now? Nah. This is about where on the monthly where we turned last time. And that price to this price is like a 56%, 57% pullback. So as we go back, it's like, man, come on, man. Act like you've been in the market for a few days. Like, people will panic over that, and it's like, well, it's been doing that, right? So all we've done on Bitcoin price, which is come back to where it was last January. It's a collapse, Gerald. Okay, panic, man. So you see, as we begin to look at this in perspective of, let's pull this up, right? We got to see this in a big picture. If you were going to make your money in Bitcoin, you'd make it at the buy, not at the sell, right? We want to be, this is when we're going to harvest. Has it ever been there before? Yeah. Has it ever been here before? Yeah. It's kind of the money flow rules, right? Where it's been before, it can go again. That's support and resistance. Look over here. Last time it was trying to run up, take it down. So you had your big sell-off. You got in. Look, comes over. Look at it banging up against resistance there. Wherever it's been before, price can go again, man. So yeah, it's come down, banged off here. Now we're there. We're still there. So we'll see what's going to happen. Is any of this unusual? No. Is Bitcoin over? No. It's been doing this for a decade. I'm sure it'll keep doing it. So you get to decide if you're going to ride with it, though. Right? That happened to Amazon. Amazon went up, crashed by 60, 70%. You get to decide what you do with it. So when opportunities are afforded to you, this is what the unique advantage of the money flow. Once you begin to understand how prices move and focus more on that in accumulation, you can begin to look and be like, all right, cool. Let me get some of that. You start to see these stage ones, and you're looking for, this is what you're looking for to be a buyer, right? You're looking for that sideways price action. You had it up here too. But you see that movement, right? That movement like that, it's where it gets wonky. It starts getting even out of the flow, it's flowing. The flows just get smaller, right? Sideways up, sideways down, sideways up, sideways down, sideways up, sideways down, sideways, right? And then what? We were expecting an up. Where would my target be? Previous high. And then what? It went down. A lot of people think they know the price. Oh, when Bitcoin goes here, it's going to go there. You don't know where the fuck Bitcoin's going. Stop. Nobody knows. It's just going. So if you focus more on that, you just want to, then you don't, think how much time you save yourself worrying, trying to be right. So this is the pattern, man. This is the pattern of movement that I'm watching that came to me one day. And whether it's Bitcoin breaking out, or we were just looking at knee, this beautiful pattern here, it's just price, man. Just price moving. Let's see. Wow. The bots on Instagram is just... What's up, Ben? That house looks good, bro. That house you're working on looks good. Putting some money in it. I'm just going through these comments here, man. Like the guys that log in, they're like clown. It's like, okay, thanks, man. I had to block that guy. Let's see. Joshua Miller says, how do you even learn about stocks? I don't know, man. Knowledge has been hidden from humanity. How could man ever learn? How could man ever learn? Learning is an actual skill set, man. Like when you have the ability to teach yourself things, the ability to learn, like just in life, whether it be an instrument or to learn the stock market. A lot of it comes down to recording, right? We got these money flow journals for a reason. We can record our learning. We can bring ourselves, me and my friend Robert were talking about logging and about effective use of time management. And you're remodeling a house, and next thing you know, you got to go to Home Depot, and then a little while later you run back to Home Depot, and maybe do it a third time, and it's like, fuck, I'm wasting gas, I'm wasting time. We're talking about better time management systems and logging time. And that's what a trading log is, That's what you want to be doing, that, man. Like, if this is, let's take this back over here. Hold on, keep this up. Kids in the front row need this. But let's do this. Here's mine. Now, some of you are going to be like, I get this a lot. Oh, I don't need a login, man. I just buy my stage ones. It'll help you, man. If you keep an accountability list, all I'm doing is just where I added money. That's it. It's nothing fancy. Like I was talking one day with a professor, and he puts his feelings there. Why? And you're like, well, and I get it. If you're super short-term trading, yeah, that makes some sense. Maybe your feelings are fucking with your moves. But if you were to ask me, right, I don't know what I mean, if I'm upset at my mom or something, I don't know why I need to put that there. I'm adding to Starbucks, now one of my top 3 conviction plays. My mom has me upset today. I got to work and all the guys made fun of me. So, I don't know. I could put that there, I guess. My wife said this, and I got mad at her, and now I'm mad, I guess. You could put that in there. I don't really try to do that. I don't see the need for that. But if that helps you trade, I guess. So if we look at Starbucks, I remember I was saying it's one of my highest conviction trades, and something we hadn't talked about is we hadn't talked about this, but there is such a thing in a concept, not only with this, it's true value. And the cool thing about true value, sometimes people don't understand, is true value is always being recalculated. And they'll say, Gerald, when I looked at this stock, Tip Ranks had a $99 target on it. And then they changed it to 92. Now the target's 92. Should I go with 99 or should I go with 92? That question always makes me laugh. And I'm like, we kind of have to go with the current number. And they're like, yeah, but it went lower. Yeah. Price got reevaluated. They changed it. Like, the circumstances changed. Life changes. It's not fair, man. Like, fuck, guess what? One day you have, one day you don't. Like, that's life, man. Prices of rents, of houses. The other day, as we get closer to summer, I can get $350 a day for Airbnb. Last week, I could only get $190. That's the fucking market. You get what the fuck they pay you. Like, the value changes, man. And the shorter term you're trading, the shorter your change, the faster your change. So if I'm doing day rentals, that number could fluctuate $100 depending on if it's Friday or Tuesday. Not many people rent on a Tuesday. The value on Tuesday changes. What? It's a revaluation. It's based on market conditions. Same with stocks, except this is a giant corporation. It's not a fucking one-day rental. It's not an Airbnb, right? It's based on quarters. It's based on the current market conditions. It's based on supply and demand. It's based on commodity prices and inflation, and it's based on worker costs, and all those numbers, those data points are just coming at us every day. So prices get reevaluated. So what we want to do is, what I do most of that is outsource that to smarter people. You do that through subscription services, and I'm just looking at what they say. They know more than me, and I'm reading it and seeing if it makes sense, and I'm bouncing it off other smart people trying to formulate, is this stock okay? And it's not necessarily to get out of it or to get even it, but more so, should I be accumulating? Is the reason Starbucks is down right now, is if it is, and it's like, oh man, they're going to get past that. I'm a heavy buyer on stage ones. If I can make sense of the price disparity, and you're like, what do you mean? The volatility. Meaning the best way for me to make money in Starbucks is to get Starbucks lower. If we think it's worth more, it's a premium company and it pays a dividend, right? Then what I need, what's on my side, time times amount times yield. You know the millionaire equation? I need time and I need amount. So if I need time and I need amount, it doesn't mean one day. I need fucking time. I need a couple of these, man. So in order for me to have made the most money in Exxon, it just hit $97. I needed time with Exxon at 30 something dollars. I needed more stage ones, not less stage ones. I needed more of the thing people don't want, right? And that'll be true if Bitcoin goes to 100,000. People will be like, oh man, I should have bought. Yeah, probably should have. But how do we know that? Well, when it comes to, I don't know about Bitcoin. I think so. But when it comes to stocks like Starbucks, there's basic accounting. We can evaluate the company and sales, PE ratio, and current market environment. And we can get basically what we think it's worth. That doesn't mean it's going to trade there today. But at some point when times get perfect, it will drift to there. It'll bang that number. It'll cross it. And then you'll see it'll start trading at a premium. And based on market conditions, they may say, cool, we'll let a Starbucks trade at 20, 30 fucking percent overvalued. Money's flush. Good times roll. Times get tough. I'm not paying $300 a day for a fucking rental. They start to pay less. They start to demand deals, breaks, or we're not going. When that happens, guess what happens to the natural progression of price? It's pushed down. Does that change the value of the condo? Not today, but over a period of a year. If prices are compressed and pushed down, and they go from 300 to 50 to 180, 112. We can only rent them for 112. Guess what? After a year of that, guess what happens to the price of a condo? They start to come down. If I'm holding them to make money, I'm not making any money. So how long do I want to keep holding an asset not producing money for me? Guess what? And what do you see, man? The flow of price. And so as price does that natural flow, and the way they flow is different in the art market than in the wine market or in the watch market or in the real estate market or in the used car market. But it's flowing. Prices are going through the stages of movement, right? And all we got to do is try to understand the stages. Try to see the big picture. Pillar number 7, right? So as we see the big picture and we know that 71% of the time, stocks tend to trend higher. They just tend to move up slowly. And then about 29 to 30% of the time, they come falling down. And that volatility. So the problem is they don't go in a straight line, right? Price can only do one of 3 things: move up, move down, move sideways. I believe price does this in 4 stages. By identifying the stage, we can better allocate our buys to take advantage of sell-offs. Stage 4 decline, take advantage of. Treat it like you own it, man. Slap that shit around. Take advantage of it. Or be taken advantage of, I guess. Right? Comments. What the fuck is wrong with America? Comments or something, man. Sir, the question is whether I'm in alternative investments. We're going to interrupt class, talk about on the term. What alternative investments would you like to talk about, sir? John, now that we've stopped class, what alternative investment? What investment do you think is better right now than Uber? Or USA pays a 10% dividend yield. This one here pays a 10% yield, drips you money, 10%. It's 0.8% a month. Just pays out cash, flows in the money flow. We can spot these anchor points. We can start to accumulate these on stage ones, and it'll just pay us a passive drip of 10% or higher. No, I wouldn't waste your. It's squirreling, man. If you don't have $1 million in the stock market, you don't need to be in wine. You don't need any paintings. You need to get money in the fucking stock market. Stop bullshitting. If you don't have like 10 rental properties, you shouldn't be looking at that shit. Stay focused, man. No squirreling. NFTs got a lot of you guys off track too. Be very, very, not to say you can't do those. There's people that make money in wine. But here's what ends up happening. You have a little crypto, a little stock, you own a little this, a little that, a little this, a little that, a little this, a little that. You got a whole lot of fucking little. And not a lot of one thing. And that's the problem. We have to guard ourselves from that, man. I do too. And you'll say, yeah, Gerald, but you own a lot of these things. Yeah, that's because I've been doing it 21 years. So, like, if I start accumulating Bitcoin, it's pretty much all I'm buying at that time. If I'm looking at houses, I'm pretty much putting all my money in that. You're like, yeah, but you're buying all these stocks. Yeah, I'm constantly trimming stage threes, taking profits, and then rolling that money into other stocks. Again, been playing it for a long time. So, why do you love Starbucks so much? I always see lying wrapped around, but in comparison to the rest of the sticks available, why them? What are your thoughts on an FHA loan for a house? Jeez. I think you're broke. That's why you're doing an FHA loan. I think you should get your bucket straight. I think you should get out of debt. Get rid of your credit card loans, student loans. Get some money. I think you should stop taking trips and vacations and stack up some cash so you can go get an actual loan. I think you should put 20% down. Come at this like a champ. That's what I think, man. I think if it's offered by the government, you probably shouldn't do it. If it's a special deal, why you want to get in that line? Don't get in that line, man. Don't get in the handout line. Get in the pull-up line, man. Go in there and do it like it's something. And we'll wrap up with this. I get this a lot, man. People are afraid to go all in. I was going to buy that property, but that'd be all my money. Really? For the rest of your fucking life? That's it? This is all you'll ever have? It's not all your money. It's all your money right now. Tomorrow you get to go get more. Like, imagine if you saw shit like that. So you get out of that money and you get that asset. Now you have the asset. Tomorrow you go get more money. To do what? To buy more assets. To then go what? Get more money. I mean, you're always all in, man. Your money, you're always doing that, man. What are you going to do? Half-ass hustle? I'm a half-ass be a piano player. I want to play piano, but I'm just going to sometimes do it. Not a lot, but, a little. Don't put it all in there. Like, what good comes of any, you're all in, man. You know what I mean? Like, if a guy's like, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you got to go hard, man. You can't half-ass do it. Trying to make money in stocks. You're trying to, be if you don't put your mind on it, what you're going to get is mediocre results. That's fine, but you put yourself on this for 10 years, you're putting a lot of money in it, man. And again, learning the big concepts, learning these stage ones, learning the idea of diversification, learning about, growth stocks, learning about penny stocks, learning about crypto, you're learning about different things, but then how to allocate your effort and time into different things, and do it smart and do it in the right phases, man. You can't do everything at once. You're not going to be able to buy properties, Bitcoin, dividend. You can't do all that shit. You're going to have to bring it in, man. That doesn't mean, the good thing about stocks is it's such a fractal nature, meaning you could play this and you could have bought 3 shares, The reason you only bought 3 is, you're doing this over here. You're working on this thing. But you're in the flow of this because at some point in your life, this is going to be super important to you. But maybe right now, your money's not going into that. The problem is people will turn their focus to this, and they don't have a track record of 10, 20 years. They don't have they haven't been doing it. They've been doing something else. And so all your courage and your belief and everything was in that other thing you were doing. And so then they come into this, and they're smart. I see smart people come in the stock market, and they have money, but they haven't been doing the stock market for 20 years. So the way they view the stock market is filtered through other shit they've done. Same in real estate. When you've been doing it 20 years, you're seeing it different than a guy that's just getting in, right? So that's why it's important in that game. You get properties, you get in, and so that you can ride the flows owning properties and you want to be a landlord through bad times. You want to own stocks during crashes so that you can feel that gut feeling when your fucking shit plummets 50%. You need that, man. That's going to help build the character for you to manage a portfolio over the rest of your life so that when you're 65 and old and there's a stock market crash, you handle it like an old pro and not a chump who was all in a panic selling his shit at the bottom in 2008 because he was scared. All those people that did that is people who didn't have their mind on the stock market the last 20 years. So instead of prospering, if you were in retirement during the 2008 crash, the best fucking thing you could have done is went and got a part-time job to buy more fucking stocks. Yes or no? You know what most people did? Total panic out. That's what your parents would have done. Like, that's what people do, man. So why? Because they have no track record of dealing with that adversity. Listen, and anything you do, if you were going to be a fighter, all right, till you get the fuck knocked out of you, we don't know that you're going to be a good fighter. Until some dude kicks your ass in the ring, I don't know if you're going to be good. You might just look good. You might just look good because you lift weights. That don't make you tough when somebody punches you in the face. Okay? So looking strong, that don't mean you're tough. Little kid punch you in the throat and you're on the ground crying. Right? You get what I'm saying? So most people are a meme or look the appearance. And when they get tested, when life tests them, when life leans on them, all of a sudden they ain't so good on the stock market anymore. Or they ain't so good on this anymore. They ain't so good on that anymore. So I don't give a fuck if it's going up and you like it. Good for you. Let's see where you're at in 2 or 3 cycles. Oh, I'm going to come in the money. Let me do the money. Let me do the 3-month program. I don't know if I'm going to be around. All right. See you in 90 fucking days, I guess. I get people to do that. They sign up with me. Oh, we're going to do 90 days. Oh, yeah. A lot of magic could happen between us in 90 days, Gerald. A lot of magic. 90 fucking days. You know how many times the stock market's only open, 60 of those days? That's only, 12 weeks. If we break that down, fuck, dude, that could be one move in Gilead. And you're like, what do you mean? Let's break it down, man. Like, if you're looking at this stock, it's been going up. So if a guy came in trading with me, or he's in our group, look, there's one day, that was back in March. We ain't done shit. We ain't added to this, nothing. Well, added over here. It's just drifting up, man. He's like, well, this is boring. I know. We already did the buying before you got here. Right? So you're doing this every day, man. Life goes on and on and on. But when people show up, and then they're like, all right, let's give it to me. And it's like, well, they've been doing it. So when you're hopping on the train, the market was here before you got here, man. You get what I'm saying? Bitcoin was here before you got here. And people will make a lot about the current time they see. They think this is important. What's happening right now? I get this all the time. Gerald, has there ever been a time like this? And I'm like what? Well, the market, it's one day it's up, one day it's down. No, that's never happened before. That started with you. Like, do you hear what you're saying? But people don't, but that's natural, man. We all go through that. That just takes a minute, right? You ever meet the old timer? He's like, yeah, back in the 19. You think this is tough? Now, what's he doing? He's drawing upon experience, right? When you meet an old person, they start like, Man, you think this tough? Shit, when I was a kid, we fucking get an ass whoop. Like, right? And what is he doing? He's drawing on experience, man. Most people, when they draw on experience, most of the time they're telling you about the times they got their ass whooped or it was bad or something. Why? Because they learn from that, man. People learn from failure, not from success. Once success is happening, there's not a lot of learning going on, man. Stock's going up. You ain't doing anything. You make a stock go up, you didn't do anything. Or go down, you didn't do anything. Right? It's those pivotal moments. It's those decisions. Those come quick, man. The stage 2 breakouts, stage 4 breakdowns, man. Even today, a lot of the things that you built your life on is things you messed up, man. Mistakes you made. Same in the market. So relish these. Think about these times, man. Think on them, man. Check yourself. Like, be looking and be like, man, how am I feeling? Am I, what am I thinking right now? Am I wanting to buy? Am I not wanting to buy? Am I upset about, try to feel on that, because guess what? Fast forward 10 years, shit's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. And my goal, and I know this confuses people, guys, my goal is not to move all in and all out of my assets. That's limited thinking. My goal is not to get out of all my real estate at the top. And that's bullshit people sell to you in courses and books. You don't become fucking Donald Trump or Ben Mahala moving all in and all out like you're some sort of fucking financial soothsayer. Right? Those are outliers, man. Where you see somebody, oh, he sold everything here and then he bought everything. That's nonsense. Most of the business people that you're going to meet and live up to, they got war stories. They wrote it through the good times and the bad. They learned to sell when times were good, and they learned to sell when times were bad. They manage money in the good days and the bad days, meaning they're not trying to avoid those. They're trying to respond properly. They're trying to approach each day with the right mindset and the right setup, with the big picture in mind, with each day holding themselves accountable to the way they need to execute, not based on how they're feeling about their mom or their girlfriend or what the wife said or what the husband said, but based upon what you're supposed to do. What is your responsibility, right? As a portfolio manager, as an actual investor, or as a landlord or whatever, man. And it's not avoiding things. It's managing through things, leading through things. Shit, first person you need to lead is you. The first person I need to lead is me. And the first person I need to influence is me. Being an influencer is influencing your damn self, man. Like, you need to be an influencer. Influence yourself, man. And the big picture. So you're not going to hear me change my story. I don't give a fuck what happens in the economy. They could take me off Instagram, put me on Instagram. I'm going to do the same shit I was doing 20 years ago. I'm going to get up tomorrow and do the same thing. So a guy said to me, I got $100,000. What should I invest in? Same shit you did yesterday. Yeah, it's not a one-time transaction. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm not doing a one-time thing. Oh, I think I'll buy this one time. So I'm not thinking like that. If you gave me $100,000 tomorrow, I'd probably put it in checking, and I'd scan my stocks. I'd come through here, and I'd come over here, and go, okay, I got $100,000. I don't need to put it all to work in one fucking day. That's stupid, right? Because why? Next month I'm gonna get deals, man. What do I want to put all my money in today for? So I'd come over here, and I'd come over here, and I'd go through, and that's how I'd start. I'd first look at my buy and holds. Is there anything there I should add? Then I'd go to my trading account. Where's Uber? Does that look good? Like, I would start scanning shit. I'd just start going down. Oh, look, there's a breakout. What is this? Oh, ARC. Hell yeah. So now I would click it, right? I'd be over here. And so my guy's got $100,000. What you should put money in is getting off your ass and learning how to invest, man. That's what you need to put money in. Not what stock pick. You don't need a stock pick from me, man. The fucking universe is giving them to you. You're like, what do you mean? Amazon boxes are dropped off at your house every day. You get into a car. You're holding a cell phone. You don't have to be a stock genius to pick stocks, man. You just got to get in the flow. You ain't got to be that goddamn good at football to figure out who's the best team, right? Or who's the best quarterback. What are you looking at? Stats. Same thing, man. Right? Same thing. Like, this is not complicated shit. So once I learn a little bit about skill sets of charts and how to value stuff, what's the value of a painting? Comps, man. So if they sold a Da Vinci for this, that gives them a base price of what they might could sell the next Da Vinci for. Shit, let's ask a little more. Fuck that, man. I got one for sale too. I might ask a little bit more. Yeah, me too, man. I might ask a little bit more. All of a sudden, there ain't no buyer. Well, at least I got last month's price. Oh, wait, there ain't no buyer. Bam. And then all of a sudden, what happens? You have a price movement, man. You know, price ran up, price came down. What is that? Price discovery, man. Based on what the last guy did, man. Based on what the last guy did. You get what I'm saying? So as we begin to view price like that, it changes the way we see these things. So if a guy says, I got 100,000 and want to invest, sounds like you need therapy. Like the fact you ain't been doing this tells me you're missing something upstairs. So we need to start there first. Like, get your shit together at home. How's your how's your relationship? How's your health? You got a savings account. Because what good's it going to do with me to put you in? You come over here. Look. I want to show you something. I've been adding to these for 21 years. Now, if you go through and add up how many stocks this is, or if you roll with me in the money flow, you'll see in buy and hold, I add 2, maybe 3 a year. You're like, a year? That may mean I bought Pepsi, Southern Electric, and Verizon 1 year. And then I was holding some of these over here, right? Because now we're in year 3 or 4. And you're like 12, 14 stocks. Now in the beginning, let's say you're doing dogs a dollar or something, you're going to have 10, 12. What you don't want to do on a buy and hold, you could. But these took time for me. So now if you notice the ones in red, so as I'm adding new money to this, if you noticed, I got this stock free. That was from a split. So some of these stocks I got free. And you're like, what do you mean? Pfizer did a split. When Pfizer did a split, they gave me shares of VTRS. Now, VTRS has gone on stage 1s. I've added to it. Plus, I've collected dividends. I've reinvested them. This will grow. It'll grow larger and larger, and sometimes it'll go down. Well, I got this free too, WBD. So as we move forward, remember these two are new ones I've added. And we had started adding this, what was it, last year? Toward the end of the year. I may have bought 3 this year. It was PFF this year? May have been. Right? And if you go back and look, you'll see Kellogg's was last year. Right? Some years I may go a little more aggressive, and then some years I may not add any at all. Right? And so, like years. So you see what I'm saying there? Years. So the way that makes that work and the way those dividends get higher is I need crashes, I need pullbacks. Fuck, I need Coca-Cola to plummet 35%, like from time to time. I need that. So I begin to use volatility around the 4 stages of price movement, man. Right? Logging that shit, thinking on it. What you think about comes about. What you focus on grows. So that number is $22,667. That is my annual dividend collection on this portfolio here. So if we divide that by 12, what is that? Like 1,800 and something, 1,900 bucks. By the end of this year, I need to have that shit too. Dude, we got to get this up, right? I need to at least get this pushing close to 30, right? Why not? We can get this close to 30, right? Maybe 30 is too high. Let's get it at least to 25. By the end of the year, I need this to be more than 25,000, right? Why do I want to push that? Because that makes this grow, man. So that's another thing for me to look at. See, this when you start buying, this is one of the cool things about owning individual stocks, is you can play with this number. You're like, what do you mean? Well, Gilead has a 5% dividend yield. Hanes Brands does too, has a 5% dividend yield. So does PFF. Now, GLV and USA have a 10%. So what does it become obvious that I'm looking at right now? I'm wanting to bump this number up, but I need to do it safely. And time is on my side. So as I begin to watch through my portfolio, I'm wanting to add to the higher yielding things because I want to get this bumped. I want more money coming in. I want more. Not at the exclusion of my overall growth. I mean, I still want shit like Starbucks. Yes, why do you like Starbucks? It's growing its dividend and the business is still growing. So we have the possibility of dividend increases and appreciation, right? So I love that, man. Let's see. But that took time. This here took time. Today's world, you could just click a button and buy all these in one transaction. I don't know that I do that, but you could. You could buy all these in one transaction, and you would immediately start getting those dividend drips, man. Preferred stocks are fine. If you're just into them, I mean, they're fine. I'd hope you learn the money flow first, but preferred stocks are fine. They're cool. There's a good time for them. I like, this is what this is. This is a preferred, it does stuff in the preferred sector. Let's see, screenshot. That's it, man. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody that comes to the Sunday service. I'm trying to motivate you, keep you on tack, keep you going, man. People disappear in my life, man. Makes me sad. You're like, what do you mean? I mean, they come into the money flow with me, and then life beats them up, man. They drift away. Makes me sad. And I hope that 10 years from now they have $1 million. Why not? I mean, help at least 4 people I can think of off the top of my head become millionaires. And you're like, what do you mean? Meaning I said, hey, here's how you do this. Take that money you're making. This is how you break the buckets out. This is how you handle your debt. This is how you allocate to stocks. This is how you start doing the real estate game. This is how you do the 8th day. We're going to get debt free. We're going to bring all this together under a thinkable, workable mindset, right? And we're going to apply it consistently, not for 6 fucking months, for 6 fucking years. You're going to stay on it. Maybe you'll do something else later, but right now you're going to bang this. And guess what? All of a sudden, the guy's got $300,000 net worth, and he had fucking 0 when he started. And that all happens in 2 years. And you're like, how is that possible? Radical change, man. And then they begin to focus on this. Well, what you think about comes about. What you focus on grows. This shit starts to expand in your life. Money starts coming. You start seeing things that weren't there before because of what you're thinking about, man. And all of a sudden, a deal comes this way. Or, man, you know how many people that have started following me said, man, I really wasn't even thinking about real estate. And then I'm watching your stock videos, and you're talking. Next thing I know, I'm thinking about it. Then I bump into this guy. He lives by me. He ends up buying a house, and he gets a great deal. Then they fix it up. They have it reappraised. They got 50 fucking thousand in positive equity, and they got it rented. And literally, when they bumped into, they weren't even thinking about this. And now they got a rental property, 80,000 in equity, making them money every month. And he's like, dude, I'm getting number 2. And I got guys who've done that who go from 0. We're talking stocks. They come to me for stocks, and within 3 years, they got 3 houses, money in the market. What is that, man? That's getting up to do this shit every day, man. They're not letting life, you can't let life beat you up, man. You got to beat life up. Fuck life. You got to beat it back, man. Because it's coming at you. And your girlfriend's going to fucking lie to you. And this is going to happen. Like, all that shit's going to happen. Your friends are going to fuck you over. Like, all these things are coming, man. And on top of that, no matter what your mom says to you or what if this happens on Wednesday, like, you got to get up on Tuesday and do this shit. If you're a trader, fucking trade, right? And if whatever it is, like, be on it. Don't let this stuff take you off, man. If you're an investor, stay on your investments. Don't let it drift away. The people that let it drift away don't ever accumulate wealth, man. They don't. And these are most of my friends. They don't have any money, man. 50 years old and broke. And it's not because they're not smart. They're all smarter than me. They all know how to do things. I got a buddy here in New Orleans. He's a painter. He paints way better than me. And I own 17 houses. I paint houses all the time. So does he. Except he's painting them for clients. I'm painting the ones I own. That's a big difference. And yet he's a better painter than me. You get the difference? It's what our focus is on, right? Man, oh man. I have no doubt one day you make me, oh yeah, man. Yeah. Like, so, man, you better be ready to hit back on life is all I'm saying. And dude, I've been punched in the face many, many times. You know, Death in the family. Shit, I bought 2 properties that year. Push back, man. Push back. Don't lay down. Let's check Baba, man, before my man pees himself. Let's see. Push back on life, man. Yeah, you know what's up. This is stage 1. This is that 1-2. I call these are the little gray areas. You can call it a 2 if you want. I mean, you got the pattern, right? It's a very tight stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Look at how tight they're getting, dude. Now we're just fucking sideways. Yeah, I like it. There's just so much pressure on this thing, man. I like it. I wouldn't be trying to trade Baba. I mean, look at the trend is just down, dude. But I like it. I would just dribble in. Don't get too big in this. Leave some room for it going lower. But I like the trade, man. I think it's a good price, man. I appreciate you guys too, man. Push back on life, man. If I can help you, let me know. See you YouTube or Instagram. Are we gonna share? Yeah, we'll share the video. No, we're not gonna share that video. Fuck Instagram. Let's see. How about that, YouTube? Fuck Instagram. We're not sharing that video. Appreciate you guys listening today, man. We had 170 people on here. Nice. Boxing epicenter. Let's see. Although, you know, that guy, I was fucking with you when I said that about the wine and shit. That's usually a game for rich people, but you can now access, we have put that in Discord a couple times. You can access the wine market and the art market through Masterworks. There's stuff like that. It's interesting. I don't know, man. If you got extra money, I think it's cool. If you just want to put a little bit in there, you know, grand. Same thing I tell people do with Bitcoin. Put some in and then make up your mind. You know, who am I to tell a guy not to do art if you want to do a lot of art? I just don't like to see a lot of the little things and then you never accumulate a lot of one thing, you know? So you want to make sure you don't get too down that, you know, in that aspect. I've got a little bit of money in some hard money lending through a platform, just testing it out. So far it's paid like 10% return. So, you know, it's worked. You know, when I put $1 million into that, I mean, maybe if I was a billionaire, but I'm not going to let it ever become any, you know, I don't know. I see so many opportunities in the stock market that sometimes those weird ones like that just, you know, like you got USA right now. This thing pays a 10% yield. I mean, it's super cheap, man. It's like, I don't know. You know, the art thing might work. The wine thing might work. You know, it's like an NFT. It might work. It might hit a crypto coin. It might hit. This is going to pay you. And if I have a lot of money in the guaranteed stuff, then it's cool because then I can go play the other stuff with like, and it's not as a big a deal, you know. I don't know if that little guy needs to be worrying about wine or art, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Hey, man, I appreciate you guys.